You know, what he's saying is the man who obeys the Lord, who calls Jesus Lord and means it, has truly and really built his life on Christ. All of it is built on Christ. This is a demonstration that Jesus has saved such a man. It's a demonstration that thy people will be made willing in the day of thy power. The man's obedience does not save him, but it shows that his soul is built on Christ. But the second home is built on the earth directly. It has no foundations. It is insecure. It will not stand long. Such is the life of one, Jesus says, that heareth and doeth not. This is the man who says, Lord, Lord, but is deluded. His life is not actually anchored on Christ. Self-deceived, as James says. This man is a hearer of the word and not a doer of it. Now, for those of us who know such things, this is one of the grandest texts Jesus delivers against antinomianism. Boys and girls, an antinomian is one who is against the law of God for Christians to follow. Christians, in other words, are not to follow the law of God to be justified by it. Right? We can't do that. No one can do that. Don't try to be justified in God's eyes. Don't try to be saved by your law keeping as a fallen man or woman or child. You can't do it. But Christians, once saved, are called to follow the law as the rule for their life. To live as we are, holy ones, separated unto the Lord. And antinomians are those who are against the law, which is what that means, deny this use of the law of God, thinking it is a denial of the grace of God to tell people to obey God. But the man in this parable, boys and girls, who has the insecure life is the antinomian. The man who calls Jesus Lord, Lord, but does not do what he says. These are the ones who are self-deluded into thinking Jesus has saved them. But the man who has a secure home is no antinomian. He is the man who loves the law of God in Psalm 119. He loves the commandments of God. Why? Because he loves Jesus. He even exerts great energy and effort in his obedience. He digs deep. He exerts a holy expulsion of spirituality in obeying Christ's commandments. Think of how the Apostle Paul spoke. He speaks of striving, doesn't he, in his Christian life. That's how he lived the Christian life. He runs. He puts his body under subjection that he would not be disqualified. He strives to please his Lord and his Master in all things. And that's what the true believer is like. They ask Jesus, I will run the way of thy commandments when thou shalt enlarge my heart. Psalm 119:32. You need to ask God to be at work in you, to help you to obey, for it is God that worketh in you both to will and to do his good pleasure. Philippians 2:13. Friends, we obey out of the grace of God. Pray, thy will be done, and ask, O Lord, give me power to obey.
My heart is greatly stirred. I sing a noble theme. My tongue's a skillful writer's pen to speak about the King.